been a Wales coach a few weeks, and now you're lining up against them. How is it for you this week?
It's been a great experience, really. I've really getting to get to know sort of players I wouldn't have worked with before. It's been good working with Robbie Deans. Robin McBride's come in this week too. So it's been pleasing to see the guys sort of bonding and having a little bit of fun, but then getting serious as well. So I've enjoyed the week, and just looking forward to Saturday. It's a great opportunity for me to hopefully say thank you to the fans and the Welsh public for 12 brilliant years. It's just been amazing. Sort of place has kind of grown on me, really. It's a bit like a growth somehow. Sort of, yeah, it's been fantastic, and just looking forward to Saturday. I don't think I can lose, really. So either way, but we're here to play some rugby, and we're here to give a good performance, and the competitive side comes out of me, and so in the next 48 hours is about getting ourselves right and going out, and so I think when those competitive juices start to flow, it's about going out and delivering a performance, and hopefully the Barbarians winning.
You know better than anyone how to pick holes in that Wales team as well, don't you? You know all their strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah, we haven't looked at them. We'll see the side today. We know they've got a few guys out and a few injuries. It was a bit funny on Tuesday because I went back to my apartment and actually drove past while they were training, and I just said, this feels a bit weird. So made sure I didn't look out the car window, or my apartment overlooks the ground as well. So I wasn't watching them train. So I just felt a bit awkward, really. So
really,
yeah, it was too dark anyway. So it was about 4:30. Yeah, so just like I said, it's an unusual situation, but it's something to look forward to, and hopefully, I know in Barbarian spirit, the boys go out and want to play, and I'm sure Wales want to do the same, and we want the roof open. So
that's not scary.
No, we know it'll be closed. So. So that should create a great atmosphere, and there's going to be a good crowd there too.
Yeah, we heard Sean Crichton actually try to take you out for a beer, but it's a bit difficult around Cardiff because you get noticed. What about the Barbarians as a kind of off-the-field experience as well?
Yeah, I think the boys, they've had a couple of nights out together, and it hasn't been, crazily wild and stuff, and that tends to happen earlier in the week. And as the boys, in the next 48 hours, the senior players sort of take the reins, and particularly tomorrow in captain's run, it's over to the players for that last 24 hours, and you'll see those players when game day comes around about playing with a bit of pride as well, and making sure that because that's important in terms of you've got to represent the great history that the Barbarians hold, and going out and making sure that you don't let yourself down and don't let the history of the Barbarians down as well, and going out there and performing, and so you'll see that in the next 24 hours to 48 hours in terms of the players, just rugby heads start to switch on and start thinking about what the game of rugby is about.
What's it been like looking on at Wales this week? Is it an odd feeling to see this team that you've built over 12 years trying to prepare for life after your time?
Yeah, no, it hasn't really. I've kind of been able to park that. I've kind of saying, the World Cup, and after the quarterfinal, you kind of knew we had 2 games to go, and so I feel I've had closure, and this game on Saturday is special for a couple of reasons. It's a great chance for me to be the last time in the stadium. So, like I said, to be able to say thank you, and it's a new regime, and they've got to put their own stamp on it, and I'm proud of what we've achieved in that period, and in terms of trophies and stuff, and obviously semi-finals of the World Cup, and but it's a chance for this group to potentially take it on to a new level, and add their own personalities and their own thoughts and ideas into Wales, and I think we've left it in a pretty good place from when I started, and I'm really proud of what we've achieved over that period. So. And hopefully they're able to do that.
Just a word on Wayne Pivak as well, the job that faces him, and What do you expect him to bring to the role?
Yeah, I think it's, there's been a lot of jokes flying around and stuff and about the challenges he faces. He's aware of that as well, and so it's like everything, you have your ups and downs, and it's not going to be smooth sailing all the time, and he needs a little bit of time to put his own personality into it and his own imprint on the game, and working with the other coaches and them gelling together, and that'll take some time, and that's why I felt it was really important for this game, because initially it was when I was told about this game going ahead, the idea was going to be my last game in charge of Wales, and I just felt that it wasn't right for that to happen. I was finished after the World Cup, and it was a great chance for the new coaching team to come in and get some time with the players, and I think that should give them a good chance to assess the players, put their own imprint onto it, help them in terms of building for the Six Nations, and I just thought that was really important. And so then I had to, rather than the Barbarians asking me, I had to go and ask the Barbarians if I could please coach the Barbarians against Wales, so that I was involved. So that, I thought that was important. I thought it was important for Wales and important for the new management team too.
Warren, how do you go about beating Wales?
I don't know, probably Bestie would know better than that.
Not really.
Yeah.
Keep the roof open.
Yeah, probably not a good idea.
No, it's not. No, close the roof actually is the best thing. One of the things that I thought, in particular, the last 2 or 3 years with this group, and you look through and you go, there are some absolute sort of world class players, but there are players you'd go, they're good, probably not X factor in some of them, but they get the best out of what they've got, and as a group they never give up, and that's kind of what probably one of the greatest assets in terms of as a team, and even when they're behind they'll still keep fighting and keep trying. And so we know it's going to be tough on Saturday because of the mindset of a group of players that when they put that red jersey on, it really means something to them, and I'm well aware of how motivated this Welsh team are going to be on Saturday. A new coaching team coming in, they want to impress, they want to make the coaches sit up and take notice of them and put their names forward for further campaigns, and obviously for the Six Nations, and so you'll have a group of players that are incredibly motivated to want to do well, and we've got to be aware of that as a team also. So we've named a team, we've got a few big lads in there, so apart from wanting to play some really positive rugby, we've got to get the balance right and get some front football and get across the game line. We've got players who I think we're capable of doing that, and so I'm looking forward to the weekend, looking forward to the challenge. Obviously when Wales name their team this afternoon, we'll have a look at that and look at the individuals and maybe pick a few holes in if we can, but we're just guessing at the moment, seeing what that combination is going to be.
Have you been in regular contact with Wayne prior to this week?
No, I haven't. No, so he came out to the World Cup for a couple of weeks and had a bit of a look out there, and this is his team now, so it's important that he takes the reins, and I'm stepping back and allowing him to do that. So for me this week has been a chance to, or the last couple of weeks we had 3 or 4 quite heavy days in Dublin as a management group, which was brilliant, just a sort of a farewell to that management team that have been together for so long, which was fantastic. So I've had my chance to say my goodbyes and a few goodbyes this week.
Have you been in the away dressing room before?
No, I haven't. No.
And did you, when you were head coach, did you sort of arrange anything special to be done there?
No, there's no cameras or anything in there. The strange thing is, when I first arrived, that was the home dressing room, the away dressing room, and I went in there, and even though the away dressing room is slightly bigger and the warm-up area is a bit bigger, I just felt the configuration of it wasn't as conducive as I would have liked from a setup, from a change room. And I spoke to the players at the time, would they be prepared to move the dressing rooms around and go to the other one. So, and they weren't against that because the home dressing room wasn't at that time being incredibly successful with them. So, I thought, from that point of view, a change is as good as anything. Just change the environment, change the new coach coming in. We'll change the change rooms and see if we can change our luck. And it's been good for us. And it's been a while in a competitive game. I know the World Cup warm-up game we lost to Ireland, but it's been a long time since we've lost a competitive game at home. So, the change rooms have been good, and they've been lucky for Wales.
Do you know how to get up to the away coach?
No, I've got no idea. Yeah, so to make sure when they come up the stairs on Saturday that they turn right and don't get lost. So someone's going to have to show me.
Warren, Willis Haller might have played in this game if he hadn't been injured, and he was quite vocal about the comments or the criticism he had from certain people about him being selected for Wales. I just wondered what you made of that.
Yeah, he's not the only one. I mean, Gareth Anscombe went through a little bit of the same thing, and I think it's important that that he just bides his time and just keeps his head down. That would be my advice to him in terms of you just got to earn the respect from the public, and when that comes, then you get buy-in and they get buy-in. So, to be honest, he's not a player that I've really looked at closely because he wasn't eligible for us at the time, and the rules are the rules in terms of eligibility. I think going forward it's going to be tough, with the 5 years kicking in. The advice that I had given to any of those players that were new and coming into a Wales setup, even though a lot of people didn't comment on it, was make sure you learn the anthem. And I think that has quite a significant impact when the Welsh public see those new players, particularly players like Eddie Parks and Gareth's mother's Welsh from Cardiff, but when they see them singing the national anthem, it means that there's buy-in. They've made an effort. It's not the easiest anthem in the world to learn, I can promise you that. So, that would be my advice if he does get a chance, say in the Six Nations, then spend the next 2 months learning the anthem, because that's probably about how long it'll take him. So, and in fairness to Eddie Parks, and that's what I said to Hadley, and he spent a whole week with Rhys Patchell going through and making sure he learnt the anthem. So, look, you've got to accept that there is going to be people that potentially might be a little bit negative about it. Like I said, keep your head down and earn the respect, and that's one way of doing it. And for him, get himself fit and play well for the Blues and see if he gets selected in the future.
Warren, I know it's not your concern anymore, but you have been quite vocal about the regional setup in the past. I was just wondering what you made of kind of mess at the Ospreys recently.
Yeah, I haven't really been following it closely. I've made some comments about the regional game, and it's important that the focus from the WRU and the regions is important. I think Ireland got an incredible setup with the provinces there, and the history of the four provinces in Ireland, the quality of players that they're bringing through the success that they've had, and it would definitely help the Welsh team if the regions here were consistently more successful and competing at the higher level. So that's a challenge, and I've just said that it's not about the players, it's about getting the infrastructure right and making sure you get the right coaches and quality coaches and all the things that are important behind the scenes, the gym, the strength and conditioning staff, the nutrition, the food, all those things are probably more important than the players. And I think we've had, sometimes it's been short looking at short gains or sort of short-term gains, trying to get immediate success, trying to buy players and getting overseas players, and not looking at the longer-term vision. And the longer-term vision is about development, is about the academy, and coaches come in here under pressure for performance and results.
they're not thinking long term. It's a little bit sometimes, unfortunately, a little bit like the football model. You see managers come into football clubs, they're under so much pressure for results, they're not thinking about the future, they're not thinking about development of youngsters in academies. So we need a long-term vision here, and we need to make sure that we think about the blueprint for making our regions better and stronger, and the WAU working with that. And I don't think we've got it right, but if they do focus on that, and I know there's potentially a lot more money coming back into the game with investment, and if that investment's used wisely, I think they'll get a lot of rewards out of that, and like the regions being as strong as they possibly can. That will have a significant impact on Welsh performances, and I think we've been lucky over that period that we've been able to get the best out of the same group of players, but it won't sustain forever. It will have an impact on the Welsh rugby team unless the Welsh regions are performing at a higher level more consistently.
Warren, what's your thoughts on Sam Warburton going into coaching? Do you think he's got a bright future?
Don't know. Got no idea. So I haven't seen him coach. So it'll be interesting to see how that happens. Obviously with Sam coming in and Martin Williams coming in from a management point of view, have been two great players for Wales. So it'll be interesting to see with him with the contact area and the defence. There's no doubt from a contact point of view he was absolutely world class when he was at his best. So he'll have an input and he'll have his own views and ideas on that, and being able to deliver it. What the people are telling me that he's pretty excited about that. Obviously he's got a huge amount of respect from a lot of people, and hopefully he does a good job. So, but it's going to be challenging for him because there's a group of players there and older players that are not too far removed from when he was playing as captain, and sometimes that can be challenging for young coaches. You're trying to have that separation between being a coach and now being a player and now being a coach, and so that will have to, I presume, be managed quite carefully. So hopefully he's able to have a positive contribution.
Rory, are you on goalkeeping duty this week?
Funny, we haven't discussed that yet, Warren, have we?
No, I'll tell you what, I was impressed with that conversion. Left foot, you struck it well. We had a good look at that. I'll tell you, it's pretty wide out too, wasn't it? I thought it might have been in front of the post.
I thought it was right in the touchline, wasn't it?
It wasn't too far away, so no, I thought you struck it nicely.
You never know, if it comes down to the crunch, I'll definitely not step up. Listen, I think that sort of the Babas has been brilliant for me. I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed the 2 weeks leading up to this. I've enjoyed this week, and I think when you get to the end of your career, it's just about, it's a nice little reflection back on what rugby's all about, and having fun and a bit of crack, but at the same time we're still we're still very focused on Saturday and making sure that we're good.
On that, Rory, as well, is it handy having Warren to pick his brains about how you can go about beating Wales?
I was going to say it's quite handy not having the conversation about the roof and all this sort of nonsense, but look, it's been really good, and I think it should be said that I think if you look at Warren's contribution to Northern Hemisphere rugby, it has been phenomenal over the years, and to be on the same side of it now is really good. I think it's an honour for me to be captain a side that he's coaching again, and I think we're just looking forward to Saturday. I know it'll be a great send off for him from a Welsh point of view, but we need to make sure that we play our part in that in terms of our rugby. And while it's important that we bond, and we've been bonding for 2.5 weeks now, but it's important that we're prepared and we're ready to go on Saturday, because we know Wales are going to be, it's their first chance to impress Wayne Pivac, so we need to make sure that we match that.
Cheers, guys.